Question 3. Isooctane is added to petrol to increase its octane rating. Some high-performance engines require fuel with a higher octane rating. Write an equation for the complete combustion of isooctane. Use the molecular formula C88H18 of isooctane in your equation. So it's C8H18 plus O2. If it's complete combustion, it's going to make CO2. Incomplete combustion, of course, would make carbon monoxide, CO, or possibly carbon. And it always makes water. So I've got C18H18 makes CO2 and water for complete combustion where there's a plentiful supply of oxygen. To balance this, then the C's end up in the CO2s, so 8 C's must end up with 8 CO2s. The 18 H's, well, the only place where the H's can go are into the water, H2O, 9 2's are 18, and then you add this up, 8 2's are 16, add 9 is 25, so what number multiplied by 2 equals 25? 12.5, 12.5. Explain in general terms how a catalyst works. Well, it provides an alternative route and lowers the activation energy. An alternative route for the reaction to lower the activation energy. Carbon monoxide is produced when incomplete combustion takes place in the engines. Nitrogen monoxide, that must be NO, like carbon monoxide is CO, is another pollutant. How can they react together? So you've got CO plus NO, and they make carbon dioxide and N2. So carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere, it's a greenhouse gas, and nitrogen is a gas that's about 78-79% of the air is nitrogen anyway. Platinum, palladium, rhodium and metals used inside catalytic converters. These are very expensive. Platinum is used to make some of the most expensive jewellery in the world. A very thin layer of these metals is used on a honeycomb ceramic support. So there's some kind of ceramic honeycomb middle, and then the metals, the expensive metals, are used as catalysts on the outside. Explain why a thin layer is used this way. Well, it exposes the gases to the thin layer. You can also save money by using a thin layer, and the thin layer of metals mean then there's a greater surface area to come into contact with the gases. So less metal is needed, so you're going to save money. Increase it, although less metal is more important really than saving money, although you do save money. Increase surface area on the metal because it's on the surface, and a greater proportion of metal is therefore on the surface. What's happening here? Oleic acid looks like this. It's got a double bond, it's got a carboxylic acid. Identify the reagent that could be used in a chemical test to show that oleic acid is unsaturated. Unsaturated means it's got a double bond, and indeed it has here. So even though it's got a carboxylic acid group, the common mistake will be to say add sodium carbonate and look for bubbles. It's not actually asking that, it's asking for unsaturation, so it's asking you for tests for this double bond here. So your answer is bromine, or bromine water goes from orange to colourless.